Hello folks, Scott Grove, Dr. Groovy of GroovyMusicLessons.com. I had recently put a video out basically showing people how to do song transitions, linking songs together for the sheer thing of not having any dead air. Just getting 3 or 4 songs combined, ideas of how to do such things and stuff. Especially if you don't have like a great front guy that is just a whiz on the mic between songs that can actually entertain people when there's no music going on. Okay, so you develop things like that out of necessity, or other people, as in the case of a couple different agents. They all had, in my day, the artist development things, and they would have a list of things for you to have to go through. For them to even sign you as just an artist to a rinky-dink little booking agency. Okay, so you're not getting signed to anything other than to get to go play shitholes. Okay, but you still are representing the agency. So, a lot of people have just asked me, can we have some more information on just band stuff or playing live or just everything but the playing part? Okay, now understand this. I have, number one, lived by, again, just because I grew up on Kiss and I didn't know any better, and I'm still stuck with Kiss in the brain. That's just, you like who you like when you're growing up, and sometimes you outgrow it, sometimes you just don't. Okay, so at the beginning of a lot of like Kiss videos and stuff, there'll be a quote from George Bernard Shaw. Most of you probably won't know who he is, but it says, "The secret to success is to offend the greatest number of people." Okay, so I love that. I absolutely love that. The secret to success is to offend the greatest number of people. Just there's different ways to be remembered. So goes it with entertainment, music, whatever. And remember, again, I'm old. Some of this stuff may seem dated. So what? The basic same things still work. Getting signed and what it takes to become famous today are different than they were in my day. But then again, I'm going to cover a few things for itch. I'm just going to cover a few things that I think you ought to know, and some that you should consider, and some that you should just totally blow off. Because definitely everybody's not going to want to go through life, on the same path I did. Again, I'm not going to stick on this much, but I have done, huge tours, big names, and that all ended like 20 years ago. But yeah, I got to do it on numerous occasions, and I've played the 7 nights a week, sometimes 2 shows on Sunday for years and years and years. I've played with some of the worst bands you've ever heard in your life. I've played with some of the best bands in your life that you've heard. I've done everything in between. So just leave it at that. And I'm just here to answer the call of other people saying, hey, tell us more stuff. Okay, so here's what I've come up with. And I've got just the basic ideas written down here, just the subject. Nothing about it, just stuff to remind me, since, again, I'm old and I forget shit. As far as bands go, y'all need to sit down, if you haven't already. A lot of these things are common sense, but it's just a matter of if you have the balls to enforce them. Okay? Most everybody knows this in the back of your head, everything I'm going to say. But unless, there's some kind of structure to your group, you're going to fail. And then again, failure might be your ultimate goal. It is currently mine, as far as my band goes. Okay, I joined up with another band recently, and every one of us knows exactly how good or how bad we are. All of us know that we are doing this just because we have to, and because we just have to. We enjoy doing it, and none of us want any kind of fame of any sort. I mean, we've all did our things, played with whoever, and everybody has done it. We know there's better players than all of us, better singers easily than all of us, better entertainers than all of us. But we know this is our last go-round, and we're going to just spend it with each other, play good old songs, no originals at all, because nobody wants to hear them, especially from people our age and the jobs that we're going to play. We know exactly what we're going to play until the day we die. Okay? So with you guys, you're all in different situations. It don't matter whether it's metal or it's country or it's jazz or if you play with sock puppets. You know, you just have to figure out what realistically the band as it is right now, with the members you have right now, what are you going to accomplish? What do you want to accomplish? And is it realistic with the people you have right now? Do you need to make changes in personnel? If so, do it now. Okay, if you have any aspirations to become anything. Okay, like with us, we're just going to stick with what we got and leave it until people start dying off, and just try to enjoy the little weekend gigs and the occasional week-long gigs at the casinos and stuff. So, again, just realize what you want to do and when you want to do it. I know some of you are going to be young, you're going to be in high school, you're going to be in college, you're going to want a band in high school, you're going to want to be in a different band, or 10 in college and screw chicks all night, or guys, or whatever you're into, or both. And so just set your goals. Everybody sit down and say, here's what I want out of this. And if somebody's vision is way off from everybody else's, then yeah, make the adjustments now in personnel. You know, you have to treat it like a business, because it really is, unless it's just for fun, and that's all the more you want it to be. You want to play Eagles Lodges and Moose Lodges and old crap like that, or just the local bars, you know, or you just want to play the frat house parties for beer. If that's what you want to do, that's great. Achieve it. Go do it. You know, if all you want to do is get paid in pussy and beer, be the best pussy and beer band you can be. I mean, you guys know what it takes to do that. I'm going to lay a lot of this out, but just establish so everybody knows what they're in for, and nobody's disappointed, nobody's time is wasted that wants more than that. Okay? There's nothing wrong with wanting very little out of playing music other than being happy and partying your ass off. There's nothing wrong with any of it. Any time you reach your goal, that is success. It doesn't matter how much money you make or whatever. If you enjoy the hell out of what you're doing, and that's what you want to do, and those are the people, you're playing with the people that you want to surround yourself with, and all of those people make you happy instead of infuriated to even look at them, let alone possibly even have to ride with them to the gig. You know, there's things to iron out, so get them done as quick as you can if there are changes need to be made. Sometimes that change might be you. Yeah, believe it or not, sometimes I'm known as the dick in the band. Oh, it can't be. I know, I never shut up all the way from one gig to the other, and they all got to ride in there and listen to my ass. And I always realize they're never saying anything back. I'm just going and going and going and talking about crap I've seen on TV all week long, since last week when we played. And I forget every week that these people don't watch TV. I mean, don't, ever. Never. I mean, ever. Not that they don't have one. It doesn't... You know, the people I play with, that's just not their thing. So, very, very varied interests, and I talk about mine all the time, and generally couldn't give a rat's ass about anybody else's. But if that works for your situation, fine. Nobody has told me to shut up yet. But if it does bother you, and you have somebody like me in the band, it's like, find a way to say, save it for the stage, dude. But say it nice if that's the person you want to spend your time with, man. Time is a very fleeting thing. Man, it goes by fast, especially when you're my age. It starts going by really fast. It's just like, good God. So those of you who are young, man, put it to use. Put it to good use. Okay? Do as much living as you want. Do as much or as little playing as you want. But make the time that you're doing it the best time of your life. Okay? Okay, let's get along on some subjects here. Okay, so you guys have your lineup and you're good to go. Okay, everything's good enough for what you want to do, or you guys are already signed and everything but sealed and delivered, and you're just trying to get everything together. There's so many things, and again, apply this to the pro bands out there. Apply it to your everyday life, whether it's music or whether it's not music. Apply it to the bands who barely know how to play 3 chords together. But use something from this. I hope everybody takes something from it, even if it's just an idea to use in your everyday life and it just doesn't match up with what you do playing wise. At least I'm here trying to help, okay? When you guys are setting up, this is a biggie for me. I have, and I'm not going to try to talk about me all the time, but I always end up doing it. I always end up being the band director or the musical chief of the whole deal, no matter who I'm hired to go play with. Of course, we're in the situation I'm in now. Nobody gives a rat's ass, and nobody is given a title, blah, blah, blah. But if you get into other things, yeah, I've actually said, yes, I will do this, and this entailed actually getting up a few hours earlier than everybody else, taking the bus, driving it down to the venue, and unloading and setting up each and every single thing by myself. I didn't take anybody else with me. Then everybody else would roll out of bed around noon, come down for a sound check, because I would be done by then, and everything would be hooked up correctly. Why? Because I know how to hook up everything to do with sound, everything to do with everybody else's equipment. I have spent my life knowing everybody else's business and their setups, and people would say, okay, here's how I want my stuff. I want my cymbals, my ride cymbal. I need the bell to be at 36.8 inches high. It's like, whatever. But yeah, I used to do that stuff, and I got paid well, not well, but better than everybody else did, for sure, because otherwise I wouldn't take that position for doing it. And in my day, when you got to play for national signed acts, you didn't make much more money than you do playing casinos here where I'm at. The money really no different unless you are a union member, and then you start making union scale, double union scale, triple union scale. You can read about Wikipedia real quick, okay? So, setups. Do you have the shitty singer guy that will show up 5 minutes before sound check with his one mic cord, his microphone, and his mic stand, maybe, or hers, and her tambourine, since that's the only talent she has other than getting gigs somehow. Yeah, we all know that one, don't we? So if you got that singer, somebody has to be in charge. It really helps if you treat it like a business, because I'm going to bring up a few things that are going to happen to all of you at some point, if they have a million times already. And that's, going to be when you break up and who gets what and everything else. It's just like a divorce, and There'll be fights. There'll be all kinds of stuff. So, delegate if you can, and if you're smart enough. Delegate everybody a position. Somebody has to be the person who reminds everybody or emails everybody, reminds you of when you're supposed to meet, where, when, what the hell you're wearing, if you give a shit what you look like on stage, or if you just want to look like the audience members. If you show up and people don't know you're in the band, I find that kind of strange, but then again, since Nirvana came around, since then, nobody really seems to care what their stage presentation's like or what they look like. You don't know the lead guitar player from the guy who's coming to bring extra outhouses for the party. That's just the way it is nowadays. A lot of the show is gone out of show business. Just guys standing there like we do still, and you just play, and everybody's dead quiet between songs, especially the lead singer, because he don't know how to talk to people. So I end up being the one that has to talk and stuff all the time, and they're not always happy with what I say because I'm way the fuck out there, and I am not shy about anything. So I will point out, if there's a set of titties right there in front of me, I'm going to point them out, and I'm going to talk about them for a while until the drummer counts the song off. Because if you're going to sit on your ass and make me look stupid there on stage, just standing there going, I don't know what you want to play. I don't know what you want to play. Okay, until I hear those 3 or 4 clicks or whatever it takes to start off the song, I'm going to be talking about titties. If they're right there in front of me. And I don't care if there's a 5-year-old kid right over there sucking on one of them. I'll just say, hey, share the wealth. And that usually gets these people who are way more religious than I am, which is none, to speed things up. So delegate people stuff to do. Like generally, drummers, it takes forever for them to set up. It takes me forever because I've got I also have to do all the lighting and all that crap. That's me by myself. And sometimes it's a chore, sometimes it's a real quick thing. And I'll talk about that stuff later too. But anyway, like our bass player, he has so little to do. It's just a bass guitar. He actually runs a cord. He's the only one that's not wireless. And an old PV bass from the 80s, from 1980. And the old PV bass amp from 1980. And that's it. Nothing wrong with it. It sounds fine. It does the job. And that's what he'll play for the rest of his life. And it works. And it works for him. It works for us. Everything's fine. But since it only takes him 5 to 10 minutes to set up, it still takes the band 2 hours to set up total. So his job, he usually sets his stuff up after he's done with things to do. So nobody in the band should be done setting up before anybody else, because there's always something to do. So his job is to throw monitors where they're going to have to go, run the cables to them, run all the cables from the mains back to the drummer actually, who's the singer in the band, run cables back to him for plugging in all the mains, all the monitors, and he has to run all the mic cords to every vocal, every instrument, every direct box, blah blah blah, just so he is cable guy. And there's put microphones on all the stands. Everybody has the same microphone. He plugs them in. He puts everybody's stands up. They're all in a case. Certain ones don't belong to one person, and then this person, their names are on there, but they're it's just so you don't share germs. So my name is written on there, but I never see my microphone. I just turn it around. It's there. My monitor's hooked in, because I got so much more to do. And now the bass player has tons to do, but it's cables all the time. He takes them down, he puts them up. It's his job to get them right. And if something, if all of a sudden, your subs, all the sound from there is coming out one mix on your monitors instead of coming out the subs, he gets an ass chewing. Okay, so delegate that kind of stuff at setup. You know, everybody has something to do, but nobody, and even if you think you've got it down, if anybody has time to go take a pee and a dump and call their girlfriend and while the rest of you guys are setting up, I'm huge on docking pay for stupid shit like that, and important shit like showing up a half hour late to try to get to the gig every time, or you show up to the gig a half hour later than everybody's supposed to be, or whatever. As far as being late or just wasting other people's time, I'm all about docking people. So if you're good with that, bring it up at a meeting, have meetings, get shit out in the open before it gets stupid, just like in a marriage or what have you. It's a relationship. You may see these people more than you may see your significant others. So make sure everybody is busy, make sure that they're on time. Otherwise, if you take money out of their pockets, they're either going to get pissed and walk, which means they weren't right for you guys anyway. They're just a dick. You know, sometimes my job is being a dick, and I make really good money at being a dick, by the way. Again, that's why I took the George Bernard Shaw thing. It's like, offend people, man. There's so many people out trying to do what I do, you know, this part of it. I have like 4 other jobs. They're all musical, but I do this just because. Nothing is monetized. I don't have a single monetized video. I just do this because I really enjoy trying to help you all out, even though I get more shit than probably anybody does. But again, I'm here to help you. Why else would I sit right here and rattle, rattle, rattle? I know, because I love the sound of my voice. And I love to show you guys the boogers in my nose that don't exist. Hey, did you guys notice how I brought in one of my full-size stacks in? I might show you that later. Anyway, I felt like getting loud and getting some rumble in here, so yeah, I started bringing in the 412 cabinets and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so on your setups, do them well. Watch your mouth during setups. Just check your surroundings. See who's listening. Is it the boss? Is it the boss's wife? Is it his girlfriend? Is it his mistress? Who is around? And you're at work. You're getting paid to have to set up. I know we all play for free, and we pay to set up and tear down. Your stuff is always equipment or your gear when you're setting it up. Oh, I got to put my gear up over here, and when you go to tear down, all of a sudden everything is demoted to shit. Oh, come on, let's get this shit out of here. So yeah, when you're setting up, it's gear, and you're handling everything with kid gloves. And then when you're tired and it's time to get out of there 6 hours later, and it's going to take us up to 2 more hours to tear it down, load it up. Yep, it becomes shit, but you have to remind everybody, you got to use that shit again a lot of times, so take care of your gear. Okay, so that's basically it as far as setups. Know your stuff. Don't do stupid things like buying feedback eliminators. Don't ever do stupid shit like that. They are a bad thing. I'm not going to go into it now. If you want me to later, I will. As far as gear and more, all that stuff, I've got a lot of stuff on this already that you can buy. Yeah, I have videos on the whole sound thing and the whole 9, what to get, what not to get, how high you're supposed to keep your cabinets, and blah, 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 blah. So as far as all that stuff, I've already got videos on those. So yeah, so just make sure everybody on your setups has plenty to do, and if you happen to get done before somebody else does, then you're a guy. Help somebody else out. You know, it's got to be a team deal. And again, dock people for showing up late or for sitting on their ass, or look over top of the stall if they say they have to take a shit. Look over there, see if they're taking a shit or if they're just talking to their wife and having a smoke. Check on them if you don't trust them. You know, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do for the betterment of the band. Remember, the band is a cohesive unit. It is one thing. People remember the band. And there are different people who see it totally differently, and they'll remember the jerk-off who fucks it up for everybody else. Well, they would have been good except for that Scott guy. All he did is kept saying stuff about some lady's titties all night. That wasn't right. Well, ain't nobody else going to say anything about anything, so I'm going to shit on the ground or shit on the plate that's I get my food on. So I'm just that way because I don't care. But I actually do. I enjoy what I'm doing. But breaks. That's the next one I got on here. When you guys take breaks, see how firm each club or whatever is on how long you play and how long you take a break. Because this can really totally fuck up a whole night or totally make a whole night or a week or whatever. Say you play the standard, which in my day was like 40 or 45 minutes on stage, which left you with 15 or 20 minutes on break. Okay, are they set to that? Okay, meaning generally when we take a break and they force us to take a break, we play from 9 to 9:45 and then take a 15-minute break and go back on at 10. If at 9:45 that dance floor is packed and the engagement is packed, we're not taking a break. We may not take a break for 3 hours if we're allowed to do our job correctly. It doesn't. We came to play. Not. Some of you guys just can't wait till it's the next break and the next break, and whatever you do, go get stoned or whatever. Fire that guy too. You know, dock his pay and then get somebody else, whatever. But man, if you drive this big boat right, you can really make the night and maybe change the owner's ideas about how to run a proper party, you know, without having to say, yes, you have to do 45 on, 15 off, 45 on, 15 off. Because as soon as you take that break, those people leave. They find someplace else to go. They get very disinterested very quickly. It's just the way it is. If it's going like shit anyway, whatever, take a break. But if you can, you know, just something to think about, because it really, those breaks, you know, that's why when I go do solo gigs by myself, I never, ever, ever take a break. I'll play for 6 hours straight without a break. There's no reason for me to take a break, none. If I gotta pee, I'll go in there and pee with a, you know, wireless mic and keep on singing, or I'll go in there with my wireless guitar and just turn it around behind me because the tracks are playing. I don't need to be playing anyway, but whatever. I'll go in there and do it, and I'll keep playing, you know, and I've got the other hand. I can fit my little tiny wiener in there and do whatever. And, but no breaks. There's just no need for them. But then again, so many people that feel the need, unless you're forced to take breaks, seriously consider that whole concept. Okay? Because you don't, once you have a crowd, you don't want to lose it. Can you imagine, not that anybody here will ever make it, I hope you do if that's what you want to, but chances are you won't, and that's not a thing to bum you out, it's something that you already know. You can be Justin Bieber and somebody can discover you easier on YouTube, and you have a better chance on YouTube of becoming discovered than you do of getting signed by somebody and somebody coming to see you and having a showcase and all that like in the old days. That don't happen anymore. That just does not happen. You can't get into a record company. You can't send them crap. So yeah, the lovely internet you all get to grow up with. You don't have to do your legwork anymore. You don't have to send out promo packs. You say, oh, go to my website and there's videos there. And make sure there's pretty good ones. Everything about you is right there. You don't have to send anything to anybody anymore, so you have it made. Make it look good, and make it a fair representation of what you do. Most people will think that you're two different bands, what they saw on your website, and then what they actually get. I mean, deliver the goods, people. I hate being embarrassed by someone who just is subpar, or says something stupid, does something stupid, plays really horribly. It's embarrassing. Or just how they approach a problem. Say all of a sudden your monitors go out, and there's, everybody except for you is back here behind the board trying to hunt down things. The too many cooks in a kitchen thing. It's like, leave it to the person who does the sound, and they put it together. They'll find it. Last thing they need is more people bringing the focus to the problem instead of whatever's going on stage. You can always get by without a member of the band for any song, or for any time. I'm sorry. How many people ask, how many guitars do I take to a gig? 99 out of 100 times, only one. I haven't broken a string in probably 30 years, so if it does happen, then we have a song dedicated that I don't hardly even play on, and same for everybody else. We'll hit the drum machine, and it'll do something so the drummer can go work on, monitors or something, and then when they kick in, he'll play along with the drum track so it doesn't sound too different. But there's a song that all of us, in case there's an emergency, where you have to take the phone or whatever, or anything happens, your amp blows up, you have to change a string, whatever, they just do that song that they can go ahead and do without you. Have one of those at least for everybody. Okay? It'll save your ass. And, again, it avoids pointing out problems and still letting people have a good time, and they don't have to worry about your problems. Hang on, folks, we're having technical difficulties. Never say that on a microphone. It's just bad business. Okay, so being late, fine people. Fine people for everything. Time is money. It always is. So, after a little while, it's kind of like a swear jar thing. So find your own way of doing it. Okay, going on to the next one that I have written is just as far as purchasing gear. Again, this is like a prenup. Depends on how you guys trust each other, and then even then it's not a great idea to ever, unless you're in this for the long haul and are willing to, put everything in the world for it, it's still going to come back and bite you in the ass. But generally it is a horrible, horrible, horrible idea to buy gear and put your money together to buy it. It's just a bad idea. But we're all brothers and we're in it together and we're going to do this, so we're all going to pitch in and buy a new set of top-end cabinets this week. Next week we're going to take all the money and we're going to buy subs, and then we're going to buy a power amp the following week, and then we're going to, as a band, we have a band fund, we put money in there. It's just not a good idea. It really isn't. If you do that kind of thing, do it as a business. Have shit drawn up, who owns what the serial numbers are, what you paid for it, have everybody initial it, so that when the band breaks up that you can come and get your shit. Because when you guys call the cops and say this guy's trying to take all our stuff, everybody has a copy of this agreement and everybody's signatures and initials by every piece of gear. Yes, that does belong to Scott the Dick. He bought 1/4 of this, so he is entitled to the terms that are discussed on the agreement, whatever they may be that you guys come up with. So you get to take X amount of gear home with you, or you take that piece home with you, or whatever. But be very careful about doing that. I am constantly buying gear for the group I'm in because I'm in a better financial situation than everybody is. So if something blows up, I'm very next day or that day, I order something new to replace it, and it's just because I can. And to have more shit, hey, cool. And they get it, it's just, I've known these people for 15 years, except for the bass player. So, it's not how long I've been in the band. I played with the drummer and the fiddle player that long ago. And, so, no surprises there, but be very careful putting money together. Again, just like a prenup, or if you guys don't know what that is and you're too young, yeah, just putting your money together is never a good idea. Everybody buy different pieces and make sure you know who owns what. Keep track of it. Again, make something that is binding, have a notary sign it, as dumb as it sounds, every time, then add something to it and have everybody all initial it, that yes, that belongs to Scott, or that belongs to whatever. That's just going to save you a lot. Transportation. Here's a weird one. Somebody is going to own, maybe, if you guys all drive separately, or find your way to the gig separately, there's no issue here. Other than you're going to call, oh, my thing broke down, I can't have dependable transportation if you don't ride with somebody. Okay? Breaking down and not getting there on time is basically not an option. Have money on you for cab fare there, even though it's going to cost more than you're going to make that night to get there in the cab and put all your gear in. Be prepared to do so. Have the money on you or the credit card on you to do things like that. Okay? If you all ride together and have some kind of utility vehicle or a bus or a motorhome or just a truck and a trailer, you guys need to discuss the logistics of this. Does that guy get paid more money? Of course, you guys, right off the top, better pay for at least the gas. If somebody's like in our situation, he went and bought a brand new Jeep and a brand new trailer because the other guitar player before me owned that stuff. So the drummer went out and put himself in debt because of that, not knowing that I could have taken care of it too. But he's all happy with it, and he is not asking for wear and tear. Just even money from everybody for gas, and we get 1099s at the end of the year. Take care of your taxes, folks. If you make money, pay your part. It's the law. If one person does and the rest of them don't, you will eventually get busted. You'll have the whole band busted because of, if one person files, and if you're too young to know this stuff, know it now. If you're the one that's all good and prim and proper and you pay your taxes, and other people are lowlifes and never have a dime and blah, 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 spend it all on heroin or whatever, you're going to get them in trouble if you file and they don't. Okay? But that's up to you if you want to do it that way. But then again, if you should still file. If they don't, that's their problem. If the clubs turn in that they paid you, and they will turn it in, they're not going to say they didn't pay you. It's going to be reported, and your name's going to be there. Quite often they will have you, more often than not, you have to sign your little W-2 thingies and get those, pay those, and again, for those who are irresponsible, they will end up owing huge amounts of money and probably going to jail. I've seen it so many times. Not paying $600 for the year worth of taxes turns into many, many thousands over the course of like 5 years, to the point where you'll never get out of it. So be careful on that stuff. I know this is not all fun here like everybody was hoping it was going to be. They asked for a video of more advice, but this is advice you're actually going to need. So decide what you're going to do on the transportation. Have great transportation. Again, you're representing the band when you pull up. Does it really make a difference? Man, it depends. If you're always going to the back and stuff, how do you want to arrive at the gig, and how important is it for you guys to have a reputation of being cool? So are you going to drive the old 71 Impala station wagon up there that leaves 4 tracks in the snow? Or are you going to drive something up there? The worst thing you can do, though, watch out for this. Again, I do have a DJ business. I do my own shows around when the band's playing. I do all this, these different things. It's all entertainment. But never put the name of your band or your business or anything that lets people know that there might be very expensive gear in a vehicle or a trailer. Um, so people are going to rip your ass off quick, and they do it often. It's tough all over the world, and people will rip you off quick as you can get it. A lot if somebody's not at the vehicles waiting for the next person to come out. Never leave any vehicle with equipment in it that is unlocked and unattended for. Leave one person out there the whole time that just hands you stuff or whatever, but leaves everybody. Make sure somebody's with it, because people will steal your stuff. Or make sure there's no name on anything, or put a total name on there, like whatever sewage company, honestly, to detour theft. Because if it says the name of your band on there, or whatever DJ service, or whatever, that leads them to think that there's going to be high quality audio or guitars in there, man, your fault if you get ripped off. I've had a few drummers, they open up their back end of their truck and they've got a camper shell. They take a couple toms in, they come back, and they have 10 toms, but when they come back, the only toms they have to play the show with are the 2 they just brought in. I mean, they steal stuff that quick, and it's happened more than a few times. Watch that. So dependable transportation, and do what's right if you are ride sharing. Should the person, if you guys are all riding together, should they demand a drastic amount more money than you? You guys decide between yourselves. Again, our guy is being nice, and he's not asking for wear and tear on the vehicle. He's just asking for gas. You guys decide what's fair. But don't let that person who owns everything, if you are doing that, don't let them screw you either. Just do what is actually fair that everybody believes in, and speak up. If you have meetings, meetings are great, again, just so you won't end up killing each other. Because, like I said, you're going to be spending more time, possibly, some of you won't, some will, with these people than you will with your own family, and there's going to be fights or disagreements that will become huge fights if you don't talk them out. Okay, you have to be like family, and then some. You have to smell each other's farts all the time. You have to see each other's peckers at some point, because sometimes it just happens, and I won't mention under what circumstances, because there's some strange ways that can happen. Okay, but just grow up a little bit when it comes to business. This is a business. This one here I've already done. Give each member a job. Again, like I said, have somebody make sure they let everybody know, like a couple times a week, that, yeah, we're supposed to be there again, so usually an email or a text or whatever. Somebody be responsible for constantly reminding everybody and over-reminding them when what is what. Make sure you always make a list of everything you should have with you. If you don't get to leave everything in a trailer like we do, where it just stays and you never have to take anything except for maybe a guitar with you. If you're somebody that has to take all of your crap back and forth, make a checklist, because you're gonna leave shit at home. And then when you're 5 hours away, there's not going to be a music store, especially in the places we're playing at, as some of you've seen. There's actually not even the name of the town is so small that it's written on both sides of the sign. It says, welcome to Gandy, Utah, and it says the same thing on the other side. It's just like, it's that thin, that town is. So give everybody a job. They have a job to do. One person always deals with the club owners. There's only one phone number for them to call. Don't have them call Mike or John or Scott, or one number on your business card or on your website. One phone number. Okay? And a message that is dedicated on that phone number about your band. It's not like, hi, me and Trisha aren't home right now because we're out with the kids. And not your home phone. Have a cell phone that's dedicated to the band, and that's the person who talks to everybody and negotiates everything. Again, have meetings about who's the best at doing such a thing, and if you guys agree that that is the person to do it, Just because somebody appoints themselves the leader of the band, you can change that quick by firing them and getting somebody else. Okay? Don't be stuck. Don't get yourself stuck with a major dick, that is running the show, that really isn't talented, but very talented, but he has a lot of gear. Don't go down that path, for God's sake. Just because somebody has tons of lights and sound and smoke and lasers and the bus, but otherwise it's a total dick and you don't want to be around them and they suck, don't, because that's going to eat at you every night. How bad that makes you feel being on stage with that fucker every single night, just because he owns a bunch of shit that you don't have to buy because you're too cheap to buy it. Okay? We are in an age you don't have to have amazing gear. Again, I've told you guys this before. Your GarageBand program, you can throw a sound card on there and go directly in from your laptop, directly from your sound card. Never run out of a headphone out on a laptop or anything. But you can take those type of programs that you record your guitar with or have nice patches on, and that can be your amp. It comes right back to the monitors, it goes to the mains. You don't have to carry all these speakers and shit. Nobody needs an amp anymore unless you just want to play it that way. There is no need for it, again, unless you, again, are a cork sniffer and you have to have that tube amp and you have to have this. There are products that have gotten so good that nobody's going to know the difference, because probably whoever's running your sound, if it's you especially, aren't going to dial in a good enough sound out front anyway to sound as good as your amp does on stage. It'll never sound as good out front because somebody else is running the sound or something. They're just going to destroy it and make it sound like GarageBand anyway. So never settle for that dickhead that has a lot of money but has to run everything his way, and you're going to be in there because he owns all that cool shit, but yet he's ruining everything for you and making your life suck. Don't settle for that. If you do, I warned you. Not that that accounts for anything, I'm just throwing ideas your way, as always. I've only got like 2 more things I'll talk about, and then you guys can ask me questions. And thanks for all you guys asking about, when I put the video up of me playing with the band. I'll be doing that probably over the next couple of days, and then start doing those videos teaching you how to play all the parts I played that you guys asked for. Same thing with this. Anything you want to know about playing with bands, if you want specific things answered, ask. I'll tell you. My thoughts is all I can do for you guys for more of this kind of thing. But always get every member's input on everything. Try not to make it, well, it's 3 against 1. That's bad. It's just come to an agreement, and even if you know that somebody is a retard, sorry for the word retard again, yes, about five members of my immediate family, meaning first cousins and an uncle, are actually retarded, full on. So I don't take it lightly either, but I love the retarded word. But, so, for all you guys who are going to yell at me about the words I use, yeah, we've all got skeletons, so those are family, man. So if they're retarded, they are. But I'm just trying to tell you, I'm not trying to disrespect you by saying the word retards. But if you have a retard in the band that just doesn't get much of anything, but is a heck of a player or a heck of a person, and you would rather have that person in there because of their good qualities than a dickhead who is a better player, sometimes it's better to have the person who don't sing quite as well or doesn't play quite as well as the guy that just smokes on whatever it is but is a total dick all the time. You just have to draw that line sometime and settle sometimes until you can fill that void again. So decide, if everybody's situation is going to be way different. These are just little common sense pieces of advice that may or may not pertain to any of you. like again, some of you may not get a damn thing out of this because it's very much just common sense stuff. Again, as far as just getting along, talking everything out, decide who's going to say things on stage, how you want to portray your band. If you guys want to have, and you're going to have a certain image no matter what, but decide what that image is and do everything in the world to maintain that image. Okay, if you want it to be known for being a party hardy, let's get high, let's smoke some dope and drink and fucking, do whatever, then do it, and do the hell out of it. If you want to be very corporate oriented or family oriented, we never say anything slightly off color, then make sure nothing is. Then make sure you don't let somebody like me on a microphone discuss these things. I'm expecting at any time for somebody to say, hey Scott, and even though we don't know how to talk on a microphone and you won't shut up on a microphone, if you have to talk, can you please not say anything off color or whatever? I expect people to say that. It hasn't happened yet, but I'm waiting for it. I'm pushing the envelope every time. I know what their morals are and so forth, and I know that I'm pushing against them because I can. So I probably am the dick in the band. Will I last? I don't know. I ask them that every now and then. It's like, you gonna fire me yet? They haven't said no yet, or yes, or whatever, but I ask. That's the best thing you can do, is ask. And it's also the best thing you can do is tell. Okay? Before somebody asks. You don't want to be left in the dark wondering. Okay? And then that's going to be the same for every member in your band. So if you have something to say it. But say it in a respectful way that isn't going to cause bad problems. Always start it off if you can with, again, I just want to be heard, because we all have that right to be heard, and just tell me your thoughts on this because these are how I'm feeling about it, and start from there. Remember to start everything with, we're a group and we've decided that, we're going to talk things out as best as we can before they fester and become a big bleeding boil of pus-filled, oozing, gooey, herpy blisters. I just had to put a little of me in there. I'll talk about that kind of stuff during a wedding reception. Yes, I do. Just to see if anybody has the balls to say anything back. And usually they don't, and it's sad. But that's me. I just, again, try to offend the greatest number of people you can. That's me. So, but then again, so I hope those are just helping one person, one idea. Again, it's all common sense stuff that you already know. So if you have anything special that you want me to cover, of course in the comments, let me know. I read every comment before it gets posted. And when there's enough stuff on there for me to talk for an hour or so. I know I could talk about my toenail clippings for an hour and not even know that hour went by. Just ask, and I'll add them to a list, and then I'll say, okay, here's some more stuff if you guys actually want my input on anything. I'm happy to give it to you. Okay, so anyway, that's that. Throw my notes away. For anybody who has stuck around, just for fun, I want to show you guys a few things. Just like, I know, even though you get, I don't know, I hit some button and it quit recording. But anyway, this is, my mom's basement. Everybody always says I'm in my mom's basement. But I want to thank everybody again for being cool, and I've got so many other stuff everywhere to even open still. But for people who have made such groovy things over all this time, who send me, yes, that's all wood, and of course the lovely thing of me here. Some of these things you've seen. My cool clock up here. All these different straps I've been given. There's probably well over 100 straps here. I've got blowfish hanging around. I mean, I've got some of the coolest stuff that people have made for me. And you guys remember these things from trades, my pins. Oh, these are so cool. Where's my groovy little box? Somebody was just asking about that the other day, and all the different, God, everybody in their pics and your shirts you guys have sent. I've got people that I haven't even gotten a hold of again yet. You guys got to see this. It's because of my shoes, but such cool clothes these one folks sent. Check out these pics. Dr. Groovy with my shoes on them. So, just great stuff like that. It's just amazing that people are so cool. I've got the paintings that you guys have sent me. Everything that you guys have sent has been amazing. The pick guard for my telly, I love it. Check your nuts. And down here, well, it's sitting over there. It says dumb motherfuckers. The Kiss stuff everybody sent me. I've got stuff everywhere. People are asking about this Leonard Skinner poster. This is a fake, people, so they're wanting to buy it off me. But if you look there, it's Leonard Skinner, you know, playing in Wales with opening band. The Scott Grove Band. Okay, so people are actually asking, hey, can I buy that from you? So this is one of those things, you know, like you put your picture on Time magazine. So this was one of those groovy things from one of my best friends out there. And there's just stuff everywhere. But yeah, so I drug out the Big Johnson stuff. There's still a couple more 412 cabinets out there. There's the 250 watt Millennium head on top of that. And then another Johnson way up there. So 412s, 412s, 412s. There's this 212 Johnson hooked up to my infamous other Millenniums, and then we've got the Millenniums out everywhere. More Johnson amps and another Johnson amp. These are all different from each other. There's not two of the same amp sitting here. They are all different Johnson amps, every single one of them. No two are the same model. And then my bass rig of the Ashdown cabinets here with my Hartkey stuff and the tuners, and then my old Fender amp is now over here because it's what I use the least, is that piece of shit tube amp. Everybody's, you know how it is, everybody always gives me shit about why I don't like tube amps, because I don't. So anyway, so just I've actually cleaned up my joint, and everything is beautiful in its own way. Lots of groovy guitars in. I got one of my old Telly's back here, but I'll show it to you again someday. I'll break it back out. So the place is looking groovy, and that's that. So once again, Scott Grove, GroovyMusicLessons.com. As you saw and everything here, Dr. Groovy. And if you have anything at all you want to learn, not so much songs anymore, because I don't know how much more I have left in me, but as far as general things, ask, and if there's enough of you looking for the same thing, then I'll definitely do a video for it and try to help anybody I can, you know, as far as learning how to do this band thing or what have you. I can't get to everybody, and I know a lot of you don't expect me to. Some of you do expect me to. I've seen it on other people's channels. Well, at least you answer me, because Scott, he won't answer. Well, Scott has, you know, millions of viewers. The other person has been viewed, you know, 183 times in their entire existence. So it's easier for other people to answer you. Plus, again, like I said, I play with the band. I play solo gigs. I do my DJ business, and I do all my lesson business, which is everything you see behind me over here. So I have a lot going on. But I still am more than willing to do this, and I still spend a couple hours a day blocking people who still yell at me for being this nice to them. Go figure. And anyway, that's all I got to say for now. So you guys be groovy, and looking forward to actually answering your questions, as many as I can, and doing the videos and the again the lessons of the licks I actually play at a gig, for those of you who are interested. Kind of a cool idea. I can't remember who told me to do it, but thanks for the idea. Everybody's liking the idea. So I will be on that here in just a couple days, so that'll be fun. And I definitely know how to play my own licks. There's not much I know, so it's easy to remember them, and it's going to be easy to teach them to you. I probably already have taught them, but just in the context of a song that sounds different. So you'll go, oh, I remember when you taught that, but you phrased it different. Yeah, that's the whole thing, is phrasing. I play the same licks just as I did 40 years ago. It's just you phrase it different, and another song. It has distortion on it this time. Now it has overdrive. Now it has whatever. Okay, so again, hope you found something useful. Talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.